Another bright and sunny, but a little bit cold Saturday, no, afternoon. Yeah. And welcome to another episode of DF1. It's good to have you on one more time. And so let's do this. Okay, so at this point, I don't think I even need to say this, but you need to go out there and let family and friends know that it's time for DF1. So let me do the same thing here, and then we can get going. Okay. So okay, so as usual, it's myself and Prissy here this morning or this afternoon. Why do I keep referring to it as morning? I mean, I guess
the
because
morning.
yeah, the weather is all cold and feels like morning. Yeah. Okay. So today we have another very important topic to discuss, and we'll really need your input here because it's one of those topics where there could be diverse views, and it's not a black and white topic. Like it's not like it's A or B, right? Now, so we're looking at our setting in Africa, right? And when people want to marry, usually it's not just a decision taken by the parties in the marriage, like it's not just a man who sees a woman and they like each other and they want to marry. It has a complex web of family members coming in and everyone thinking that they have a say and so on and so forth. And obviously, yes, they have a say. Now, the question here is that, especially for people who are firstborns, and this is stemming from a situation we have to deal with. So there is a lady who wants to get married to this guy, but the guy is the firstborn child, and the guy needs to has other siblings to take care of, and I mean the guy is more like the breadwinner of the family, and so this is sort of delaying the marriage, right? And obviously being, if you are in the shoes of the lady, then your question is, when at all are we going to get married? Because they've been going out for 5 years. Now, if you are on, I see we have a number of people on. If you are on, just push a hi there so I know you're with us. Now, so the lady is really concerned because I mean, and as expected, they've been going out for 5 years, and the lady feels that at this point it should be a good time to get married. The guy also thinks so, but the challenge here is that the guy has family to take care of, as in his current immediate family, siblings and mom and dad to take care of and all. Now, the question here is that does the marriage to the lady stop the guy from taking care of the immediate family about to be extended family? Prissy, what's your take on this? And then we'll get the take of everyone else as well on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me personally, the observations I have made is that often when there's somebody in the family who is seen as the breadwinner or the one who came out first and needs to take care of the younger siblings,
Yeah.
there is some sort of hesitancy when it comes to the person's marriage, because the family feels that when you marry, now your focus will be shifted to your marriage, and then you cannot contribute that quota you were contributing before to the family. So some of the family come up with various means to discourage such people from getting married. Sometimes
Okay.
they're like, we don't like the girl, or we don't like the guy, we don't like the tribe the person is coming for no apparent reason. They don't have any explanation, but
Okay.
it's just to frustrate you so that you can focus on what you were doing before. That is the thought some of them have, that as soon as you get married, that support is going to cease.
But is that not a valid concern? Say, let's say that the mom and dad, put all their investment together to take you through school, and with the expectation that you would also help those coming up, right? And so, do they not have a point? Is that not a valid concern? That yes, if you get married, then immediately we change from being the immediate family to the extended family, and you would say you are focused on your family. I mean, don't you think they have a point?
I think they do sometimes, but knowing that the person also have their life to lead, like they need to live their life, because I don't know, in our setting, ideally, when you bring a child to the world, you are responsible for catering for that child. So
Okay.
if you brought 5 kids to the world, it
Yeah.
is your responsibility as parents to take care of all those 5 siblings, or you should have planned for taking care of them. But
Okay.
then, because of economic hardship, again,
Yeah.
that is why now we are expected that maybe the first child would come and lessen the burden on the parents. But ideally, it is not their responsibility.
Yes,
So,
and as you rightly said, that's in an ideal situation. But
yes,
practically, it's become the norm, right? So,
yes,
and
yes.
yeah, so if you come from such a society, aren't you supposed to at least fulfill all righteousness and take care of all your
I
siblings?
believe you can still marry and fulfill your responsibility towards your parents. So the marriage doesn't stop you from how do you call that? From fulfilling that part of your responsibility. So
Okay.
if you were single before and you are married, I think that's even your financial means might be stronger. You have now 2 heads coming together to move mountains. So it should rather be better.
Okay.
But
Hi,
sometimes I think their
Jessica. How's it
concern is
going?
that your spouse will oppose you taking the money back home or something. So if before you got married, you let your spouse know that I have a responsibility towards my parents. So
Mm-hmm.
this and that, and they understand. Why not?
Right. But okay, before we go on, hi, Jessica. Hi, Samuel. Um, yes, they might appear to understand till they can no longer understand. You get what I mean? So, for example, yes, it looks like okay, it's fine. So Max is asking, how do I contribute via voice? Max, you can't contribute via voice, so kindly go ahead and put your message on here, and then I'll read it out. Yeah. So sometimes when the love is all fresh and everything, then you say, "Oh yeah, I understand. Oh, no problem. I mean, we will take care of your siblings and your family. Oh, your family is my family. I mean, we'll take care of that." But sometimes the practicality is that as you get married, there are more responsibilities on your side, and your now extended family is also bringing up things that they need you to help with. You get it? So practically, it doesn't get easier. And it might be because of that practicality that your parents will feel that no, you would have to focus on us. When you are done with it, then you can go ahead to get married, right? Are they not justified?
Yeah. So I feel that it should be more of like it shouldn't be like an entitlement per
Okay.
se. It should be more like an assistance.
Okay.
Okay, so when you know that the person also have their life to live, and you need something from them, you should also consider their needs. You get
Okay.
it? So when you go with that approach that it is an assistant, I know that it's my responsibility, but
okay,
I need assistance from you to cater for your siblings. It will not be so stressful on the part of the child. Like maybe you make it like you are entitled, like you have to. It is your responsibility to take care of your siblings. That way, sometimes it gets so stressful, like every single bit of everything, they push it to you because I've taken care of you. But the role of the parent is actually to take care of everybody. It is not the responsibility of the child. It's just an assistance. And sometimes even the younger siblings that you are taking care of, sometimes people decide that, okay, I would want to wait like 5 years and hold on for marriage and take care of these siblings. And you might be helping some of them and they might not even see it as an assistance. They are taking it as entitlement. So you end up even getting disappointed sometimes, because you might, along the way, somebody might even just go and get pregnant or be fooling around because if he or she feels that he's entitled to that money you are giving him. So in order not to get disappointed, I feel you should find a way to live your life whilst you are trying to assist.
Wow, that's interesting. So Max is saying that it is a very dicey situation for the guy, but notwithstanding, the guy must still continue to contribute to the well-being of the siblings. He must have proper planning to complement the parents' efforts towards his siblings, but not neglecting that of his house. The wife must also understand the situation. Yeah, Max, I really get what you are saying, but this is where, unfortunately, the conflict comes in. Hey, Sir David, good to have you. Hi, Genevieve, good to have you. Max, I think this is where the challenge is. Being able to balance taking care of your siblings and your parents against balancing the needs of your now immediate family. Because think about it. If they think that you going out there to marry would actually mean profit sharing, like it will mean you splitting your attention, you splitting your focus, you splitting your finances, and because of that, they don't really support you going ahead to marry, then there would always be that issue, you know. Anything that comes up, it will be pushed to you because they feel like, hey, we took care of you, you have to also help your siblings. So I really get your point, Max, but then it gets quite challenging because there is a point where you would have to share the not so available or not so abundant resources between your now immediate family and then your extended family. So how do you go about that? You get the situation. Hey, Sharon, good to have you. So basically, Prissy, do you think it's a good idea for the person to now say that, okay, let me hold off with my marriage or my marriage plans, take care of your siblings, let them grow, get to a point where they can support themselves, and then you can now go ahead to get married? What do you think?
I think it depends on the individual, and I hope whoever is waiting doesn't get bitter in the end.
Okay. What will make that person bitter? Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you hold on with yours and you feel that, okay, let me help them so that maybe in the future you're also expecting that when you find yourself in a certain position, they'll be able to help you back.
Okay.
And then you don't get that sort of help,
reciprocal
support, and you get bitter. So for me personally, I would want to carry on with my life, and support in any way I can, because I don't want to waste that other person's time. You know, some people are willing to wait, others will not be willing to wait for you to do all that, because especially with women, we are concerned about our biological clocks, and maybe we are getting close to the time that's maybe after be exceed that time, you might have childbirth difficulty and all that.
Right.
So when the lady is tired, the lady might look for other alternatives. Anybody who comes to promise them immediate marriage, they might go, and you might lose your soulmate.
Okay.
So you have to
So
look at the circumstances surrounding the marriage, the partner involved, if the person understands, if the person doesn't understand. And so it's based off the two of you, what you feel you should do.
Now, in this particular situation, the lady has been in a relationship with the guy for 5 years, right? And the lady feels that to wait for you to take care of your siblings through school, blah, 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 and all, will mean like wasting a really substantial amount of her life on that. Now, so if the lady feels that it is a no, and the parents of the guy also feel that, no, you need to support us, you need to support your siblings, that is a huge dilemma to find yourself in.
Yeah.
You're saying if it is you, you'd go ahead with the plans you have for your life?
If I really want, I have seen that this is my life partner, I'll go ahead to, because at the end of the day, I don't want to say I'm selfish, but then when it comes to their turn to marry, I don't know if they will be willing to sacrifice their.
Yeah.
Maybe you would also want them to sacrifice something, but they might not be willing to. So if it's them, will they do it? Or the expectation that is demanded from you, do you think they would also want them to sacrifice that same expectation? That's why I'm saying that I hope that in the end you'll not be bitter because you sacrifice something so dear for them. So I believe that if there is something of that sort, you have to think about maybe what if scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I mean, viewers, let's know what you also think about this situation. Because I would think that, mostly the argument that the parents will put forth is that if they had not, sacrificed all that they had to take you through school, then you wouldn't even be in the position you are now to think that, hey, you feel you want to get married. You get what I mean?
But I believe in the first place, it is the duty of the parents to take care of the children.
Okay.
The children did not ask you to bring them to the world. You get me? In the first place, if you are bringing somebody to the world, it is your role to take care of that child. So, yeah, you've done your best, but it shouldn't look like you are doing a favor to the child.
Okay.
Yes, because it is our duty as parents to take care of our own children.
Right.
Yes. So if you've taken care of your child, the child should be kind enough to take care of you. But even that, there are some kids that are very stingy. They will not even contribute anything, no matter how much you spent on them. They won't.
Right.
They won't contribute, and it's also fine. That is how the child ended up. So we shouldn't.
Right.
We should, for me, I feel that we should, as individuals, plan for our future. Like, even as we are taking care of our kids, we should plan that, okay, what if we have these kids and they don't take care of us in the future? What are we going to do? We have to plan beyond taking care of our kids to be good people and then come back and take care of us. But because of the mentality we have as African and the economic hardship we also face, then that comes into play. Now we need to depend on our kind kids. If our kids are not kind to us, then we are in trouble. Yes.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
So the next question here is that, would a parent be justified if they decide that, let's say they even have the funds to take care of the kids and they decide that, oh, why would I even spend my money on this person? And then in the end, the person would say that I'm going to get married and will not even mind me in quotes, right? So would that parent be justified going about their business, enjoying their own money, and neglecting their kids? Wouldn't it be?
That is why I said that mentality about taking care of your child coming to take care of you, it's even wrong in the first place. You are supposed to take care, even if the child will not end up becoming anything in the future. You as a parent, that is your duty, because you brought the child to the world. This child was somewhere minding their own business and you decided to have a child. So it is our duty as parents. So yes, as first child, then usually that pressure is on first kids.
Yes.
And then you realize that usually the last kids are not even caring about anybody. It's just about themselves, because they don't have anyone to cater for in the family. Yeah. So they do whatever they want. And sometimes we as first children get even angrier when we see the last ones we are sacrificing money and putting the money that we could have spent on something else into them misbehaving. We get so angry. But it is also because we want like a family, because we are still part of the family, irrespective of if you are married or not. If your sibling is going wayward or living a certain kind of lifestyle that isn't good, they would always refer to that sibling of yours as van siblings or priestess sibling or something. And if you refuse not to take care of them, eventually they might become your burden, because if you don't assist them through school to also get to a level where they need to be, they might always come knocking at your door for financial assistance. Yeah. So you can think about that in that manner and support. But I also believe that you also have your life to live. So I would try and live my life whilst I try to support.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you feel that maybe it's just about a year or two, you can wait for that person you are supporting to complete, so that the person will also hopefully come and help support the rest. Fine. But then if it's something that has to do with maybe another 5 years wait, I think that you should just start your life, and then hopefully you trust in God. We say that it's God that takes care of us. So you trust in God, that God will give you the financial stability or the financial muscle to assist them when the time comes.
Right. Hey, Mr. Osei, good to have you. So in summary, what you're saying is that we are all responsible for the decisions we take.
Yes.
Whether you decide to go ahead with the marriage or focus on your family, it is your decision. And the assumption is that it is mature people who get married. And so at that point, you should be matured enough to know what is right for you. Go with the decision and don't come blaming everyone or someone in the future for whatever it turns out to be. So in that situation that guy finds himself, then go be a man and take that decision. You marrying shouldn't be, it should be a joyous occasion. It should be something that would bring families together, make people happy. It shouldn't be an occasion to look like you are rebelling against someone, for trying to go ahead. And so at the end of the day, it's your decision. You need to make that decision. You need to show you are man enough, or you are grown enough to actually take a decision and stand by it. And to parents out there, I think this point is very critical. Someone going out there to want to go get married and start his life doesn't mean the person is abandoning you. Is the person only trying to make the best of time, the short time we have on this earth, go try to build a life for himself or herself. I know at a point we are all selfish, be the parent or be the child or whatever, and we would want things to go our way. But we should also realize that that person has a life to live. And the person's life shouldn't be put on hold just because of you, the parent, right? And so it is, I think, yes, it is a difficult decision to take, but you need to live life. I mean, so in my situation, if it's me, I agree with you. I would also go ahead with the marriage, but not neglecting the family or not forgetting the family. But it would also be wrong. The key thing here is that it would be wrong for the family to say that just because you have us to take care of, don't go ahead with your life. I mean, put your life on hold. Because like you rightly said, if at the end of the day, the people that person is sacrificing for end up chilling and enjoying their lives, I mean, at the expense of that very person, then we've also not been fair to that firstborn. I mean, right? Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think that if you are watching and this situation really rings a bell, then there you have it. A decision must be taken, and a right balance must be struck. You going ahead to get married, especially to a very responsible person who will help you build a good life together, doesn't mean you neglecting your parents, and it doesn't mean you're trading them for someone else, right? Yeah. So all too soon, it's time to sign off. Time really runs fast when we are discussing important things. It's time to sign off, and thanks all of you for joining us. We'll come your way again next week with yet another episode of Dear Man. Go enjoy your week, but always remember that no two relationships are the same. So we sign off for now. It's cheers and bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
Look at the sources of financial pressures. Now, we've identified two main sources of financial pressure. So the first one being internal, that is internally generated in the marriage, and the one that is without, the externally generated ones. What makes you two happy, and not allow the pressure of having to impress everyone have a toll on your marriage. For example, if what you can afford is a single room somewhere, what matters is that you are happy, basically, and not what will my friends say, what will my family say, what would everyone say, apart from what would my spouse say.
Having kids is like having little bosses at home. They control what you do.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to control kids. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to handle them.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of pressure, especially if you are not that used to taking care of